very much. We're obviously saying ta-ta to you both. And Neil, you're not staying?
Oh yeah, you got a vote.
Can I?
Let the officers.
Before Neil goes.
Thank you, both of you.
Thank you. No, I don't want to still record.
Okay.
Don't want to, yeah.
Watch what you say, please.
Okay, I'm not going to screw. I'll say what I want to say. You've got no direct. You can't tell me what to say and what not to say.
Just asking you to be careful, that's
So
all.
I don't need to be careful. For me, right, I can see no reason why there is a pink paper exemption on this session. There is no good reason why 49 councillors press or this is not in the public domain. It goes against everything Councillor Coxey was saying about being open and transparent. Can anybody tell me what point this comes under that warrants this behind closed doors in a very secret session? There is absolutely no reason for it. We are just keeping secrets like we've done for the last 2-3 years. It's wrong on so many levels. Thank you.
I don't think it's actually keeping secrets. I think it's a pink paper is a pink paper because of there may be names mentioned.
There's
or
no names
something.
mentioned. This
Well,
is just purely roles. It's not. It's a job. It is a role with no names mentioned. There's no policeman mentioned. This should
Well,
be
there
in
is.
the public
There
domain.
is. The inspector's name is mentioned in that report, and he's not happy about that. But I mean,
Should we vote on it?
Councillor Arnold.
Yes, I mean, I'm not going to dwell on this, but as far as I'm concerned, you hadn't actually moved to the next item on the agenda.
Sorry, yeah.
And I do believe Councillor Burns just grandstanding just so we can get it on there, and I think it's appalling behaviour, I really do.
Grandstanding.
Can we not have an argument, please, at the moment?
Start
We've not
one.
gone on to the Councillor Muldoon. Has it got to do with the pink
Can I have that
paper?
record as well? I'm
Yeah.
grandstanding. Sticking up for the public.
Councillor Burns.
I also am confused about why this is a pink paper. I've got here the Schedule 12A of the Local Government Act 1972 Part 1, descriptions of exempt information. It says it's relating to paragraph 3, which I've got point 3 says information relating to any particular occupier or former occupier or applicant for accommodation provided by or at the expense of the authority. Well, that clearly doesn't apply to this paper.
Can I clarify that? It's in relation to the part of the legislation, and point 3 is information relating to the financial or business affairs of any particular person, including the authority holding that information. So that's
the business affairs.
That's the point of exemption. If you have an exempt item, you have to say the reason why.
Yeah.
That's the reason.
Can you say what that means in layman's terms, so that everybody can understand why this item is exempt?
Perhaps the officer, basically,
Michael.
Yeah, my understanding of it is, I came to this report with an exempt piece already, but my understanding of it is that the conversation is the changing of roles potentially of people outside of our organisation, as well as the financial contribution to that organisation itself, and therefore that stands outside of the financial obligations of the council in-house, and it steps into a third party, and that's my understanding of why it was required to be exempt.
Thank you, Michael. We're not going to get this done, so with us talking to each other, so I think we're going to go on to item 7. Neil, I'm sorry to have to.
No, you've got to have a
Well,
vote.
you're ignoring it. Surely there's got to be a vote or something. There is no reason. Is there?
You have to take a vote.
What?
Standard policy on any exempt policy.
Okay, take a vote.
Well, you can't just do what you want to do. It's obviously set
I'm
up
not
with
doing what I want to
He's
do.
told
and
me
that's it.
on grandstanding. This is obviously vote. You've already decided on vote before we even come here.
I'm just going for that it's on a pink paper, and I respect
But
the
there's no.
views of the
There's
pink
15
paper.
points on that And there's not, that doesn't cover any one of them.
But it says on the agenda itself, members are asked to consider whether the press and public should be excluded from the meeting, and so normally that is a question that
you do
is
it.
answered by members.
Right,
when
can we
we've
have a
had
vote then?
before.
We know it's free too, isn't it? But free on when you do casting vote. It's done already and I'll let it up now.
Well, let's
Go
do
for
it
motions.
anyway.
Okay, those in agreement to carry on with the pink paper and let's get the press and public. Who wants to leave it as a pink paper? Can we have a vote?
What, and sorry,
And
could you-
continue to, yeah, so that the press and
You've been
public are
prodded
not,
to vote for
are
it.
not here at the moment.
You've been prodded to vote for it. That's what they say.
For the pink paper.
I was of the opinion that a pink paper means that
Yes.
everybody is asked to leave
Yes.
except for the people.
Yes, so could we have a vote on that?
And that is what I'd like to know.
Yes.
Point of clarity, can we confirm that we're not being asked to, yeah, obviously, if we decide that it needs to be excluded, then it's a pink paper, but we're being asked to
It's
vote
not
on
pink
whether we
paper
think
yet.
it should be excluded from
That's
press and public
exactly
or
what
not.
it says.
That's what we're voting on.
That's the showboating I'm doing, asking for actually some agenda to be adhered to and not rough over. That's
Right,
it.
can we have a vote on for the pink paper and to take general public and the press out of it? Against? Three, so.
And the only thing I would raise is if there was a decision that it was to go the other way, my advice would be that we would need to get legal advice, and the report would have to be deferred, because obviously if people are saying there's exempt confidential information that could not be disclosed,
We've got the expert.
that's the alternative.
Michael?
Sorry, we've got the expert that can't even explain.
Thank
this.
you, I can do that, thank you,
Yeah,
Mr. Chair.
I would far remove myself from an expert of the local government. Hence, we have democratic services, and as she suggested, if we're going to disagree with what is on the paper at the moment, then potentially we would need to get advice whether we were to go forward in that manner. That would be my only comment.
May I speak, Madam Chair, and then I may remove myself, if you would give me the dispensation to
You may,
speak.
Neil.
Right. I've had many, many years of covering council meetings, probably far more than anybody in this room, probably more than it's accumulated in this room. There is no reason, and you clearly know I've read the items on the paper. There is nothing in that paper that relates to individual people and their business affairs and their situation in life. There are 4 police posts under discussion, which are posts. They're not people, they are posts. The people who are serving in those posts are deployed on behest of the divisional police commander and where they go. And indeed, they could be deployed as I believe it's option 2, they could be moved around the borough. There is no suggestion at any point in this paper that those people will be damaged financially by whatever you decide to do. Therefore, that knocks that out of the equation. It's just quite simple as that. No individuals are named. There have been many instances where pink papers are there, members are allowed to debate it and are warned by the chair that they need to be careful about what they say, and if there are any aspects of the conversation which clearly are confidential, they can be left to the end of the meeting and the press may then be asked to leave. But the debate should be held in public. That is my understanding of the situation. The interesting thing is, on the open agenda, you've got 2 items that relate to it. It's actually the same wording for both of them, I believe, and it actually says that if you read it carefully, there's nothing in the items that should be exempt. I've read it several times this evening. So your own paper says to you on the cover sheet that's gone to the public that these items should not be exempt. So why are they exempt? If somebody can explain to me, and I did understand the issue that Democratic Services made, that these, there is a circumstance. If we were talking about, let's say, caretakers of a block of flats who were going to lose their jobs, that would be fine. I'd be out that door as right and proper. But this is not. We're talking about a public service. and forgive me for politicising it, and I apologise if Councillor Arnold may not like this, but this is a showcase policy of the Conservative administration that you banged on about for a long, long time. It's been an absolute flag waver for you that this administration, to its immense credit, and I say that, has funded extra policing in this borough. You have been a particular champion of doing that, which I think is marvellous and successful. There is a very real possibility, through circumstances not of your making, that flag waving may have to stop, that those police officers may be removed. The only reason why you wouldn't want it in the public domain as a group, as an authority, is because it embarrasses you. Now, embarrassment alone is no reason to go into exempt session. I leave, at the end of the day, Chair, you have a casting vote. If you would like me to stay, I will stay. If you would like me to go, I will go.
I've actually read it in the same way, Neil, as you, and can't see any reason why it was on pink paper, to be honest. But I have to go along with pink paper, and I mean, we can't get legal advice because we haven't got anybody here to give us legal advice. And what I don't want is,
as I said, there is an option if you want to defer it, so we can get legal advice as to it. It might even be that parts of the paper could be disclosed to the public.
I don't think we've got any choice.
Again,
We've got to
if
defer
not all,
anyway.
if all of it or not all of it, but that's the other.
yeah, because I can have the casting vote and take it away, but that won't solve
No.
it. But if we defer it, when does that mean it comes back? Not till June.
But although it would be within your discretion if you
We
want
can
to
have an
hold it.
extraordinary meeting. Okay, so we can still put an extraordinary meeting
Yeah, I'm
for
happy
this
with that.
one. Would
It's
that
got to be
be,
worded.
would that be happy with everyone if we do that?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay,
Thank
okay,
you.
we'll do that. Thank you for your input, Neil, much appreciated.
Okay,